What is going on, guys? Director Nat here, back for another reaction, and today we are watching The Owl House Season 2, Episode 2. And honestly, I'm even more excited for this reaction than I was for my Episode 1 reaction. You know why? Because this is actually going to be a blind reaction. Because if you saw my Episode 1 reaction, you know that it was not actually a blind reaction to the episode, because the first time I watched it, something was wrong with my computer, and the image would freeze, and the audio was a bit jumbled. So I had to record my reaction a second time, and I switched to like the basic camera app on my computer until I could figure out what was wrong with what I normally use, so the image and the audio weren't quite as good as normal. But all technical issues have been fixed, so I am ready to get into this, and I am so excited because I absolutely loved the first episode, and I can't wait to see what this one has in store. Real quick before we move on, just a reminder that you can get the full-length reaction over on Patreon. I'll leave the link down in the description. I've also done reactions to every episode of Owl House Season 1. I've done a ranking of every Season 1 episode, and I recently gave some of my predictions and theories for Season 2. You can check out all that stuff right up here. And now with that out of the way, gosh, what is even gonna happen in this episode? I do know a couple of things. I saw the video thumbnail, and it had a picture of Luz, Willow, and Gus, which that makes me really happy because they were one of the things that I missed in the first episode. I was like, where are they? Has Luz been in contact with them? What's going on with their lives after the events of the Season 1 finale? So I'm definitely happy we're getting that, and I know that Amity is going to be in this episode as well. I don't know for sure what this episode is about, but I know it involves escaping something. One, because it's called Escaping Expulsion. I've seen like maybe some bits of fan art that I guess are maybe based on a promo for the episode. I don't know. And some people have commented down below, which normally I don't like comments that try to hype up future episodes, because some people were like, oh, if you thought episode 1 was good, you ain't seen nothing yet with episode 2. I've seen some comments like that both in my video and on the Owl House subreddit. And normally I don't like those kinds of comments, but I do have to admit it has gotten me a lot more intrigued to see what this episode has in store. But at the same time, I'm trying not to get too hyped up or let my imagination run too wild so that I won't be disappointed with whatever they do go with. But yeah, that's pretty much all I know at this point. If the episode is called Escaping Expulsion, maybe they're going to address another concern I had from last episode, which is Luz still going to Hexside? You know, what's kind of the situation there? Do they have to kick her out? Does she have to avoid going there in order to keep her low profile? So maybe the episode is going to be addressing that. But I guess there's only one way to find out, so let's not waste any more time. Let's just get right into it. Blight Industries? Did that say subsidiary of the Emperor's Coven or something? I didn't.
Welcome to our annual Blight Industries private sale.
Oh, wow.
If you're interested in reliable home security, we're here to help.
I think I saw an image of this on Instagram, but I thought that it was just fan art.
My name is Odalia, and as an oracle, I predict you'll love what we've got in store for you tonight.
Oh, so that's how they found a way to combine two different covens. He's Abominations, and she's an oracle. It's cheating without cheating.
Your tea. Help you keep up with the latest trends.
What the? Woman, haven't you damaged her hair enough by forcing her to dye it a different color? Not that Amity's hair doesn't look great, it does.
Make this look good and we'll forgive your recent lackluster performance in school.
Yeah.
Yes, Mom.
Yeah, some fans were guessing that maybe that's another reason she had to sit the last couple episodes out, is because her parents were punishing her.
Oh no, it's undefeatable. How will I ever escape?
Look at all this new security. How's a guy supposed to break out of here?
Of course! Well, that was but a beta test. What's with you lately?
Don't let her see it. Put it away.
Looks like our precious Mittens has been getting distracted.
Oh. So that's the plot of the episode.
A glittering bridge of ice, the mightiest tree in the forest. With glyph magic. Welcome to day 3 of Luz's Magic Bootcamp.
Ooh.
Oh.
Today, we'll learn something new.
Are we about to encounter a never-before-seen glyph?
Unfortunately, no. I don't know where to find more.
Miss Teacher, did I do it right?
Yeah, that's really good. Let's see how you're doing, Ida.
Double glyph combo, go!
That could be used as a weapon later.
Try to master the basics before you start experimenting.
You're as boring as Lily.
Toot toot! The Hexside train is a-comin'! Chugga chugga!
Okay, King's in charge while I'm gone. Bye!
King gets to be a teacher again. You may call me Mr. King.
Teacher said we're supposed to master the basics before...
Basics are so basic.
Face it, Lilith. Yeah, basic.
And we can only do that through memorization, repetition, and following the rules.
According to the rules, a good witch needs to hocus focus.
Laughing at tools, like you!
The voice acting is just on another level in this season.
I'll deal with it. No one ever said power came with responsibility.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Yep. Her parents are gonna try to get Luz expelled. All the fanfics I've read about this are now actually happening, and it's bizarre.
You're okay!
Whoa, guys. Did I, miss a birthday or something?
Which puberty?
Yeah, his voice was starting to drop a little bit in the last few episodes, so.
She keeps calling me Goops. Hey, Goops! It's already spreading.
Amity!
In celebration of your return, I have brought you a homemade fairy pie.
That sounds so...
Good.
The ingredients are very fresh.
Thank you.
You can't just barge in here.
Yes, we can. Luz Nocetta, Willow Park, and Augustus Porter. Report to Principal Bump's office now. And you too, Amity.
Mom? These are but a few of the incidents that have endangered Hexside students.
This is interesting to see Amity's dad like this, because a lot of people had made fan art that he was, gonna be the nice one while she's the mean one, but the flashbacks seem to imply the opposite, so...
And must be executed. I mean expelled.
What?
Okay, not as bad.
As a lesson, Mittens, a blight always upholds their end of the deal.
So she literally has the ability to verbally abuse her daughter without being judged by people around her.
You are no longer students of Hexside.
No! But
Wait, all of them?
Amity! Tell them! Amity!
I hate this.
I want to eat one last time with my tears.
Is this sweater okay, Squidward? I made this one with my tears.
We're still gonna be friends with her. I'm calling applesauce on this business baloney.
Your human language is hard to understand, but I think I see your point.
Oh.
Interested in talking things through.
You need to leave her right now.
We can figure this out on our own.
That's right. We'll get back into Hexside or die trying.
No one's dying.
Not with that attitude.
You know where to find us.
Oh, I just realized I recognize her voice, but where? Why is it I always recognize voices but never where I've heard them from? Oh.
I bet even Ida couldn't do that. Wow.
I don't have time for basics.
You would get along with Eleanor from The Good Place. See, I love moments like this. Like, Bump, does have to lay down the line because he's the principal, but they also go out of their way to make sure that, he's still a good guy.
Oh no.
Willow Park, did you get expelled? This is Perry Porter with breaking news. In light of recent events, Augustus Porter will be grounded for no less than a year. Willow's grounded for 3 at least.
I always got the impression that their parents were nice, but they're not even listening to what happened first. Oh man, don't be mad at Amity, please.
I'm sorry, I was a coward in there, but my mom...
Hey, I get it. Willow and Gus don't deserve this. So, will you help me, please?
I can't.
She doesn't want you to get hurt.
Just you wait. This'll be a killer combo. Lesser glyphs will shrink in fear. Ah! It didn't blow up!
Is it supposed to do that?
It has to have some kind of practical application. Oh no. Oh no.
to appeal to your hearts, Blights.
That's sweet.
They don't have hearts. Well, one of them doesn't.
We have a rather important presentation tonight showing off some new products.
Like abominations?
Normally, Amity helps us with these things, but she's busy catching up on schoolwork.
I'll help you show off your weird abomination gunk if you promise to let me and my friends back into school.
Don't worry, human. A Blight always upholds their end of the deal.
Lannister always pays his debts.
We make a variety of abomination-based accessories for home security.
Oh, that sounds pretty safe.
But we specialize in weaponry. You might want to duck.
Our sticky launcher can peacefully subdue any foe. And if peaceful isn't your thing.
I'm guessing that the Emperor either is one of their biggest contractors or will be.
Found a replacement?
Did anyone come to the house today?
To make sure you're getting a top-notch education, we're quitting our jobs to homeschool you.
What?
We'll spend all our free time having fun as a family.
See you at First Light for a test on the, life cycle of a common swamp toad.
That Hop Pop? I need to get caught up on Amphibia as quick as possible, but why does it take so long to do reactions? Shh. Nah.
Luce is in trouble.
Again.
We should just rush the guards at the door.
No. I'll distract them with illusions of beautiful lady guards.
This isn't a cartoon from the 40s, Gus. We need a better plan.
This could work.
I love this show so much.
Here's an idea. Why don't you just walk through the front?
Ed, you're helping? Of course. Just don't tell Mom.
Yeah, you better leave.
Hey, I got my eye on you.
Water drive.
Thank goodness, only one more to go.
My husband has been toiling away to bring you the Abomaton 2.0!
Abomaton? They're like showing off all the weapons that our characters are probably gonna have to go up against in future episodes.
I think the crowd gets it.
She has a point, Odalia.
Didn't you hear me?
This guy needs to stand up
until its enemy is completely eliminated.
So now she's a child murderer.
At least it can't get me up here.
Luce, you fool!
I shouldn't be finding this funny. Come on, Amity, save your girl.
I'm dead! Hey!
Oh, everyone's still there.
Stay away from my loot!
Amity?
Bye, lose. When I said last episode they might be getting to certain things sooner than I thought.
I am your
Oh
mother.
no, Francois.
Help me! Help
Took me a
me,
second to
Ida!
remember his name.
Ida, help me!
Fine. Lilith, emergency!
Whoa.
Yeah, I messed up. I'm ready to...
I like how Lilith is now doing for her what Hootie did. Like, Lilith didn't want Hootie's help, but Hootie was there to help her when she was ready. And now Lilith is doing that for Ida.
Amity Blight, you are in so much trouble.
Thank you.
Luce, are you okay?
Oh
You're gonna listen to me for once. Luce, Willow, and Gus are my friends. They make me think about the kind of person I really want to be.
Oh my god! Luz actually acknowledged it at the same time!
Me rip this thing apart bit by bit. Can you actually do that? Shh.
Fine, it's a deal. Just stop with the theatrics.
Ow. Oh.
As if I'd actually let them go back. I will call every authority I know. I'll make sure they can't—
Dahlia, you made a deal with your daughter, and a Blight always upholds their end of the deal. Besides,
Lannister always pays his debt.
She's getting stronger. Strong enough to become a Coven head someday.
Wise words, dear.
We have to focus on what's best for the family.
Alador!
This guy's really interesting.
So with the right combo, you can cast any spell.
Maybe the reason Luce hasn't found any more glyphs is because there aren't any more.
Then we better start learning some new combinations.
Can it wait till morning? I need to lie down.
Wait, Miss Teacher. Do I get extra credit?
Extra credit for everyone.
Excellent job on the 2.0, dear.
Yes, your abomatons are quite extraordinary. Too bad no one will be receiving them. The Emperor will be buying every one of your abomatons.
Yep.
That's great news. We are honored to have...
You should be. Emperor Belos doesn't take kindly to citizens making a private army.
Oh. Run away, and I'll be led astray with you. 'Cause even when I feel afraid, I know what to do. So call me, and I'll stay. In the end, when it's said and done, I know in my heart you're the one. I can find words, I promise. I'm just trying to... Okay, guys. So that was The Owl House Season 2, Episode 2. Okay, that was an amazing episode. I probably loved that just as much as the first one. It was like I was saying, I usually don't pause the episode while I'm reacting because it makes it easier to edit later, but I really honestly should have just paused it so that I could give more commentary and so I could really take in what was happening. But you know what? I'm going to give my in-depth thoughts now, so let's get into it because there's a lot to cover. So Amity's parents, we finally see Amity's parents beyond a vague flashback with their silhouette, and this is just so interesting. It is simultaneously what we expected and not what we expected at the same time. Because Amity's mother is basically what everyone expected. In fact, she might actually be worse. But her dad, like, I honestly haven't known what to think of her dad because, obviously I look at a lot of Owl House fan art, fan comics, and fan fiction, but and a lot of them, he is seen as like the nice one or the more relatable one, while she is the mean one. But the only flashback we've seen of them so far seem to imply that they were kind of, equally bad. So I don't know if, that was just one glimpse we got at him at a bad moment and he's actually more of a good guy, or maybe things have gotten worse over time. Maybe she's kind of taken control of their marriage and their business. Speaking of their business, I honestly didn't know what they do. I didn't know if they were just, part of the Emperor's Coven, but they have their own industry, like abominations, that actually does make sense, like selling abominations as weapons or as appliances or just convenience. And like I said, they've technically found a way to cheat the Coven system because he only studied abominations and she only did Oracle, but now that they're married, they can combine their talents together. And that is just so messed up what she does to Amity, like making Amity wear a necklace to where she can basically verbally abuse her, like in front of other people without anyone actually hearing it, which is just like that is, I'm always amazed by the really tough issues that they are willing to address in this show. Like Edith's curse and her having to live with it is basically, like representing someone who has to live with a terrible condition as they get older in life. And now they're like addressing parental abuse and like in plain view, and it's a kid's show on Disney Channel, and I'm legitimately amazed, guys. I am legitimately amazed. I'm forgetting details. I should know it considering I drew that picture of Amity up there, but like, does she wear that necklace all the time? Was that always on throughout season, or is it something she's wearing recently in response to some things that happened in the last few episodes? Does her mom always use that? Does she just use it when it's necessary? Because why does she not use it on Ed and M? Because, like Ed and M are are even more flawed than Amity, but I guess they're just better at hiding it and giving their parents what they want while secretly being themselves. And it was nice that they helped out in this episode and that they were putting Gigaby side. I love these characters so much. So yeah, the Blight family has become so much more interesting with this episode. There is so much to unpack with them. Again, I've been watching Game of Thrones recently, so maybe, you know, I'm just making a comparison because of the recency effect, but they are basically like the Lannisters, saying that they always, you know, deliver on promises or something. You know, a Lannister always pays his debts. So I guess if we're making Lannister comparisons, that I guess she would basically be the Tywin Lannister because she's the cruel head of the family. Amity would be like Tyrion, who is, you know, kind of, you know, the one they direct all their anger towards. Another thing they finally got to this episode was Amity's parents actually going after Luz and her friends, which that clicked into place as soon as the title clicked into place as soon as she saw that picture. She didn't just try to get Luz expelled, she tried to get all her friends expelled, which that makes sense because, you know, they didn't want her to be friends with Willow. Gus is now included in that, so that really sucked, but I admire her friends. You know, they didn't cower, they stood up right to her and said, we are going to fight this, we are not scared of you, and we are going to look for a solution. And I've just gotten mad respect for so many characters. Like, just look at how all of them have grown and how they have new layers to them. Like, Willow has grown so much since we first saw her. Gus has literally grown. He's like Willow's height now, and his, you know, voice has I guess they, you know, they just had to work that in because the voice actor is probably just aged at this point. But yeah, it's cool to, you know, see Gus, you know, really becoming a man. Even Principal Bump, like that is what has always interested me, is that Bump, despite being such a stern principal and being a man of tradition, you know, he is willing to do the right thing when he knows that is the right thing, and he's like legit upset that they're not there. And they didn't have to take it that far. They could have just had him be like, yeah, I'm, you know, upset about them, but whatever. They like had him shedding tears. Like, the show is not afraid to fully and unabashed be itself, and I love it and respect it so much for that. And Luz and Amity, oh my god, all their interactions, like, they managed to, you know, capture the same feelings that they made us feel with these two in season 1, but, you know, make it feel different at the same time. You can tell there was just so much tension between them that they want to be friends, but Amity really genuinely was doing the best that she could, but in a terrible situation like that. And Luz, you know, probably could have gone, you know, gotten so angry with her, but she didn't. They were both just really upset, and I've loved their friendship so much. How it's, you know, I'm gonna sound like a broken record saying that over again, but I love just where the characters were at the beginning when we first met them and where they are now. It just makes the show so much stronger. And even the parents, like, we didn't see as much of Gus's parents. We mostly saw Willow's dads, but they were very stern on the phone, and then they were more supportive. That one parent with the glasses, even more so, like letting Willow go with Gus. So yeah, great character work and great writing all around this episode. And it's just so cool to see Luz teaching both Ida and Lilith, and that was a brilliant comedic opportunity to show the differences between them, because one of the recurring themes in season 1 was that, you know, wild magic versus tame magic, and they were clearly showing that Ida was in the right because of all that she was able to achieve, and that Lilith was just, you know, serving a tyrant. But now that Lilith has joined them and they are now without their powers, they're showing that there is indeed merit to Lilith's form of discipline and patience. It's cool that Lilith is growing and learning from her friends, because last episode she didn't want any help from Hootie. She wanted to do things her own way, but Hootie was still there for her, and he waited until she was ready to accept help, and now she's doing that for her sister. Like, we are 2 episodes in, and they are doing so much character work and developing these characters so much that I can barely even keep track of it all. What is this? Who are the writers on this show? These are the people that I aspire to be like, because their writing is so good. This is a kids show on Disney Channel about witches and magic, and the writing is better than a good chunk of the big budget blockbusters and movies in general that we get these days. Think about that. Okay, I need to calm down a little bit because I'm freaking out, but this is my blind reaction. That is what we're here for, is it not? Jeez, look at me. Basically, what I do when I'm giving notes now is that I just, skip through the episode and then, like, make notes that way. But I'm only, like, 3 minutes into the actual episode, and I've already gone on these huge tangents. This review is going to be so long, but if there's a lot to cover, there's a lot to cover. Oh, yeah, and that scene where Amity gives Luz the pie. Not crazy about that, obviously, but that's, really for personal reasons, and I know this is supposed to be a weird, messed up world with recipes like that, so I'm not going to dwell on it too much. But it was simultaneously sweet and really sad seeing Amity, still try to be a good friend to Luz while keeping her emotions in check, and see a little more glimpse of the Amity that we saw earlier in Season 1. And that just makes me feel so bad for her, but respect her at the same time, is that she's been forced to be in a family where she can't be herself and has to uphold a reputation for her family that makes her keep her emotions in check all the time, yet she still is now going out of her way to be the best person that she can, even when it's hard, especially at the end of the episodes. So yeah, this show really knows how to get me to respect its characters. And again, Amity's dad, which I'm forgetting the exact names of their parents right now, but he's very interesting. I'm curious to see how they're going to combine, what we saw of him in the Season 1 flashback with what we're seeing now, redemption arc, him becoming a better person, all that stuff. He definitely makes me curious. And all those moments with Lilith and Hootie training are just so adorable. They're making me like Hootie a lot more this season, which, again, to clarify, as I've said, I loved Hootie in Season 1, but as Season 1 went on, I felt that he got more crazier and more oblivious and just more over the top. And while that was extremely funny, he lost a bit of his relatability, and just kind of being a little more normal that he had in the early parts of the season. So while they're not exactly bringing those elements back, they're at least trying to make him more likable and, a more supportive friend. So I guess I can appreciate that at least. Oh, and Bump has a tattoo on his wrist, which I couldn't really see exactly what it was. Was it like some kind of pink abomination? Is that maybe, the track that he was in? I can't exactly remember, but that's just a neat little detail. It was also great seeing Ida and later Lilith come to the conclusion about how these glyphs work, why Luz hasn't been able to see any more, that they kind of form the core foundation, and now they can use these combinations to basically do anything, I suppose, which I guess that does make sense, because in a lot of shows with elements like this, like Avatar, there are 4 main elements in Avatar, and then as the series goes on, more and more people figure out different ways to take advantage of bending to do new things, sometimes by learning from another form of bending. So I guess that's essentially what they're doing here. So that's really cool. So there's like so much more that they can do and figure out and find new solutions. But speaking of things with practical applications, all those weapons, especially the Abomaton, I believe it was called, there's got to be so much that they can do with that, so much more that they can add to it. And now that the Emperor has access to it, I'm really scared. And that was the thing, because I and a lot of other fans, I guess, were assuming that the Blights were allies of the Emperor, which they probably have to be, but they are not in the Emperor's Coven. And it was an interesting detail at the end how they were happy, by the new contract with the Emperor, but at the same time, the Golden Guard went out of the way to remind them that the Emperor doesn't like a private army. So that was just a neat little bit of, federal government versus private industry. So it shows that even the Blights, as evil and despicable as they are, even they are not safe from the Emperor. So that he will not stop until he has total control. So that gets me thinking about where things could be going. And wow, guys, wow, the scene where Amity fully goes against her mom and starts fighting the Abomaton, and she and Luz team up. You remember my reaction back to when I watched the, Grom dance, and I was just I loved it, and I was saying it was a literal perfection. I didn't think they could top that, but I think they did, because it was just, not only was it an incredible fight, them getting to display all of their abilities, but they both were blushing, and they both actually acknowledged it, because we've up until this point, I don't think they both acknowledged it at the same time, because the first half of the season, Luz was the one trying to win Amity over as a friend, and she was the one who was acting weird a lot. But then in the second half of the season, when Amity starts developing feelings for her, then she is the one blushing, and Luz is kind of oblivious to it, but they both blush, they both look at each other, and they both acknowledge it. And Amity even says, "Stay away from my Luz." Guys, it's happening. It's happening. They're not going to get to it right away, I'm sure, but they're getting to certain things a lot sooner than I thought they would. So yeah, guys, The Owl House Season 2, Episode 2. Just wow. I'm so happy that I got to enjoy this so much, that I had so much to talk about, and hopefully this will indeed be the reaction that I upload on YouTube, assuming nothing goes wrong with my computer again, which it should be fixed, but if it is not, I'll be very unhappy. And this just makes me so happy because, you know, one of my fears whenever I go into a new season of the show is that it's not going to maintain the momentum that the previous season had. So that was kind of my fears, that, you know, the first episode was going to be good but not great, and then, you know, it would be some pretty good episodes and it would steadily get better, and then we would get to the great stuff. But no, the first episode was great. This episode was great. They are getting right into a lot of action a lot sooner than I expected, which means that it can only get better from here, and that even whatever filler episodes they have are still going to be great. And I'm happy the show is back. I'm happy I'm reacting to it, and I'm happy that it has not disappointed. Yeah, I guess I better stop there. So with that, I'm gonna turn it over to you guys. What did you think of this episode? What are you looking forward to in future episodes? What are your theories and predictions? What are you loving the most so far? Whatever it is, feel free to share your thoughts down in the comments and let me know what you think. If this is your first time on the channel, be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing. Also be sure to check out my other videos. It really does mean a lot. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you for Owl House Season 2, Episode 3.